ఏంటి వినిపించట్లా?
Hi, sir. Sir, audio is not audible.
Audible now? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, sorry. I was unmuted and talking.
Yeah, okay, sir.
I think, yeah, I'll restart again. So yesterday we talked about different validation controls like required field validator and regular expression. So required field validator is used to validate the control data, whether the user entered data in the field or not. So to check that, we use required field validator. We have different properties like control to validate, error message, text, ID like this, and validation group. So we use error message property when we use validation summary. So whatever the message we type here will be displayed in the validation summary control. Okay. So the text property is used to display the error message when the particular control data is not entered and when we click on some particular button. Okay. Next thing is like tooltip. So whenever we hover on the control, so it will display the message, information message. For that we use tooltip. Validation group, we can set a group name to particular to some controls to validate the data. like whatever the group name we mention, those group will be validated against a particular action. Okay. Next, ID property to identify the validator, right? Next, we talked about regular expression validator. So regular expression validator is used to validate the control data against a given expression or given pattern. So we will write some expressions using some character. We call it as a cheat sheet. So these are the characters that are available. So we write some expressions using these, like /w or /d or /s, word, digit, white space. It represents word. Okay, capital /w, capital W is not a word. ABC to represent any like A to Z characters, we use ABC like this. Or if you mention inside square bracket, so you can enter any of this value, A or B or C, any of one value. Okay, so if you mention till like cap symbol before any character, it is negation. So not a but B or C. Okay, if you mention like this, like A-G, so you can enter any character from A to G, character between A to G. Okay, if you give cap ABC dollar, so start end of the string. So this is the start and end of the string. If you have dollar, then it is an end. Cap is a start. So if you specify it in the inside the brackets, it is not A. Okay, that is the difference. Okay, like this we will write some expressions, and also so A star means 0 or more. Okay, A star means 0 or more A's. If you specify A plus at least one A, then any number of A's. Okay, then A question mark 0 or 1. See the difference? A star 0 or more, A plus 1 or more, A question mark 0 or 1. Okay, if we specify A curly braces 5, then A must be 5 times, exactly 5 times. If we specify like this, A curly braces 2 comma, so it at least 2 or can be more than that. Like this we will write, if we specify A/A or CD, either AB you can enter or CD you can enter. So these are the ways we like, these are the character classes we use to write the regular expressions. So if you see here, so /w, any word matches any word character, alphanumerical or underscore. Okay, then hyphen, then dot. Okay, so you can enter either word, hyphen, dot. Plus means this is repeated at least once, one character, and any number of characters, any one or more of the preceding token. So whatever is in the brackets, that will be repeated at least once or more than one. Then next at least at the rate character. Then next word or hyphen or plus. So word or hyphen repeated multiple times, then dot, and it can overall it can be repeated multiple times. Then word hyphen at least 2, like .in or .com. So it can be 2 or 4, 2 to 4. Okay, so this is an expression. So see here. So there is no match. I'll show this expression. Yeah, I have one expression here which is well tested, like A to Z, any character between A to Z or capital A to capital Z or 0 to 9, underscore dot hyphen, repeated many times at the rate symbol, then A to Z 0 to 9 dot hyphen, and it can be repeated multiple times. It should start with these letters and it should end with this. Okay. So I have given one email ID, so it is matching, one match. Okay. I'll give one more. See here. So it is matching because I can, after @ symbol, I can set A to Z 029 dot hyphen and repeated many times. So after @ I repeated, I wrote Gmail, so it is matching it. So this, it took as a valid email. Okay. Like if we write here, so after that we should have 224, then it will only take 224 after dot. Okay, that there will be a different regular expressions. So the way we write, it will be validated against that. Just a second. Yesterday we tried with this. Right. Let me. So see here. Yesterday we are trying with small letters, but we mentioned only capital letters. So that's why it did not work yesterday. Test. Then still no match. Let me copy this. So I'll show the failed step of it. See here, equal is not allowed here, right? So that's why there is a no match. And even I'll write like this. See, there is no @ symbol, so it is not matching. Okay. So this is about this expression. So I'll remove it and I'll place this. And again enter it. So it is matched. Okay. So I should enter only A to Z or 0 to 9, then dot. It can be repeated multiple times. So my dot in, I repeated it multiple times, A to Z or 0 to 9 or dot. Then @ symbol, A to Z 0 to 9 dot hyphen, then can be repeated one or more times. Then dot, then A to Z 2 or 3. So at least 2. See here, I gave only dot C. So it failed. At least 2 should be there. So it should be capital. So that's why if I give small letter, it is not matching. So if I give capital, it is matching. So it is valid. Okay. So this is about regular expressions. We use this expression, and whenever we give the data, so it will be validated against that expression. Right. So we will check this once. So first I'm giving 1, 2, 3, 4, and it is invalid. Now I am giving a valid email, so it accepted. If I give small letters, it is an invalid. If I give capital letter, it is taking as valid. Okay, so this is about regular expression validator. Now I did not enter anything here. I'm clicking add button. See here, first I'll remove these two and I'll check how it will work with the email ID. Let me remove this first to understand one particular scenario. Okay. Now I'll rerun it. I'll show you some scenario here. Am I audible properly or any disturbance?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, now I have one text box, no validation available on the first number. And the second number also no validation available because I deleted required field validation. Then I have only regular expression validator on email. So what is our expectation now here? So it should validate against this control data. Now what I am doing, I am clicking on add button. Okay, see here, it is submitting. It is saying submitted, but I did not enter any value. How come it returned true? It is expecting data to be in the format of a email, right? But without even entering the data, so it is allowing the page to submit, right? So now it is valid data, it is submitted. This scenario is okay, but even without entering data, it is submitting with the request. Why? Because except required field validator, no other validation control will verify whether the data is available in the control or not. If the data is available, then only it will validate, otherwise it will allow. So except required field validator, no other control will verify whether data is empty or not in the control, whether the data is available in the control or not. If the data is available, then it will perform the validation. Otherwise, it won't perform and it will submit that. It will treat it as a valid valid state of the control. So to avoid that situation, what we have to do? First, we have to add required field validator to this and then regular expression validator so that it won't submit the data. So to do that, what I have to do? I have to take a required field validator here. So అర్థమైంది scenario? Like ఏంటి, ఎప్పుడైతే ఒక కంట్రోల్ ఉందనుకో ఆ కంట్రోల్ కి రిక్వైర్డ్ ఫీల్డ్ వ్యాలిడేటర్ కాకుండా ఇంకా వేరే ఏ కంట్రోల్ ఏ వ్యాలిడేషన్ కంట్రోల్ ఇచ్చినా మనం డేటా ఎంటర్ చేయకపోతే ఆ కంట్రోల్ అది వ్యాలిడ్ కింద తీసుకుంటుంది. డేటా ఉంటేనే వ్యాలిడేషన్ పర్ఫామ్ చేస్తుంది, డేటా లేకపోతే వ్యాలిడేషన్ పర్ఫామ్ చేయదు. డేటా ఉన్నప్పుడు మాత్రమే వ్యాలిడేషన్ అప్లై అవుతుంది, ఎక్సెప్ట్ రిక్వైర్డ్ ఫీల్డ్ వ్యాలిడేటర్. సో అది అవాయిడ్ చేయాలంటే ఏం చేయాలంటే ఏ కంట్రోల్ డేటా అయితే మ్యాండేటరో దానికి రిక్వైర్డ్ ఫీల్డ్ వ్యాలిడేటర్ పెట్టాల్సిందే, రైట్? See now I'm clicking add button directly, so it is showing please enter email. Previously it submitted the request, right? Now please enter valid email. If I give valid email, it is getting submitted, right? This is about regular expression validator. The next validation control is compare validator. Okay, the next thing is compare validator. So the compare validator is used to compare or check the data entered by the user in any one control with another control or with some fixed value. Okay, or we can also check the data type of the value entered. Okay, the compare validator is used to validate the control data with other control data or with some fixed value, or we can check the data type. So to compare, basically compare validator is used to compare the data. So let's take one validator. So to get it, just from toolbox you can drag and drop the control. So you can just drag and drop. So I have already mock-up ready. So if you see here, so what are the properties available? These are regular, error message, text, control to validate, and ID are the regular with all the controls on the validation controls. Now, so the extra things here are like type. So if you want to check, when we are comparing, we can check the type. Okay, So like in type, we have string, integer, double, date, currency. We can, while comparing, we can check all these types, data types. Okay. Next, value to compare. If you want to compare the control data against some value, fixed value, we can mention that value here. Okay. Next, control to compare. If you want to compare control with another control, we can specify that here. Okay. So we can check one one control with another control, or one control value with some fixed value, or we can check whether the data is entered is in the required type or not. Okay, the required type or not. So these are the properties or features of a compare validator. So compare validator is used to compare the one control data with another control data, or we can compare the fixed with, we can compare control data with fixed value, or we can check with we can check the data type of the value entered. So for that, I have taken a scenario like username, new password, and confirm password scenario. Like when we are changing the password, so we will have two text boxes like enter new password and confirm that password. So these should be same, right? So I want to compare these two now. So for that, I'm going to use compare validator. So for this text box, I'm just giving name for understanding purpose. Text new password. Okay, this is my ID of my text box. Okay. Next, I'm taking the confirm password text box and naming it as txt confirm password. Right. Okay, now I have two text boxes with the name txt new password and txt confirm password. I'll compare these two values with compare validator. Now, value to compare, first control to validate is, what is the control to validate? I'm going to compare confirm password. So control to validate is txt confirm password. To which I want to validate. So that is control to compare. Okay, control to compare is txt new password. So I'm comparing confirm password with new password value, text box values. Okay, and I'll give, let me set the error message. New password and confirm password should match. Okay, this is a message I'm going to display. Confirm password should match. Okay, I'll take some 4 color. Now I'm running it. The control to validate property of compare validator cannot be blank. Okay. Just just for validation control ఇచ్చాము అంటే దానికి ఏ కంట్రోల్ ని వాలిడేట్ చేయాలి అనేది మెన్షన్ చేయాలి ఖచ్చితంగా. ఓకే, నేను డ్రాగ్ అండ్ డ్రాప్ చేసి పెట్టాను, ఎర్రర్ వస్తుంది. సో నౌ ఐ యామ్ ఎంటరింగ్ పాస్వర్డ్. ఓకే, సో ఐ ఎంటర్డ్ 5 times password. Now 5 times of H, I entered H 5 times. Now I am giving only 4 times here. Okay, see here, new password and confirm password should match. So I took as a text to understand it. So if you want to hide these characters and display dot, you have to change it to password. Input type is password. Okay, for understanding purpose, I am just showing it as a text, visible text. Okay, now see here, I entered, both are not matching, so that's why it displayed the validation. Now I entered both the same, so it's gone. So both are equal. So for that, what we used, compare validator we used. So for that, text property we set, control to compare, control to validate. So here we are controlling two controls data, and we have type by default it is string. If we are going to enter integer, we have to set integer. If it is date, we can set date. If it is currency, we can set currency type. Now, is it clear? Like comparing two controls. For that, we have to set control to validate, control to compare. Right? Now, I can also check a particular control value. Okay, I can I can check whether user, suppose like only age with 35 value is allowed, then we can check that scenario also. Some with fixed value, right? Now I'll take validator, compare validator. Now I want to compare my control data, my input control data with some fixed value. Okay, then I can set that value here. Suppose 35 is only allowed in the text box. Okay, 35 is only allowed. I'll set that value to compare is 35. Age should be 35 years only. Okay. I just set the error message, setting some red color. So I'm just removing this. Right. Control to validate is txt age. So let me name it. So my text box name is text box 4. I'm just ID is text box 4. I'm naming it as txt age. Right. Now I'll set it to so I want to validate txt age. Okay. Let's check this scenario. And here also I'll show some scenario. Now I have to enter 35 here. When I click on validate age, so it will validate the age value entered with 35, right? Because I have used a compare validator. Now I am clicking directly on validate age. So it is getting submitted because compare validator also validates the data if we enter it in the control. Otherwise, if it is empty, it won't check the validation. To avoid that, we have to use required field validator. If the data is available in the control, then only it validates. Otherwise, it will submit. So that is one scenario. Okay. Now I'm entering some 63 value. So age should be only 35 years because I'm comparing with against one fixed value. Okay. Now I'm entering 32. So age should be 35. So I'm entering 35. Then that is gone. Right. Like this. I'm unable to submit it. It is not reloading. If I enter 35, say here, it is submitting. Yeah, tell me.
Using compare after we can compare the required items or required element. If we want to check it is greater than or equal to,
We'll see that we have a range validator for that. Okay, I'll show that.
Okay.
Next, I have a pin code text box here. So here only integers are allowed. I want to check the data type. Then I can take compare validator. Okay, compare validator. Then I'll go to properties. So first, before that, my text box ID, I'll change it to understand it clearly. So my text box ID is text box 5. So I'm changing it to pin code. Okay, txt pin code. Right. Now I'll go to compare validator. Control to validate is txt pin code. Okay, and text is please enter only numbers. Please enter only numbers. Okay. Now So as we have to enter only numbers, I'm selecting type as integer. Okay. Control to validate, type is integer. That's it. Now I'll run it. The value to compare property cannot be converted to type integer. Okay, initial value is empty. Just a second. Okay. Sorry. I'm checking data type, right? So when I'm checking the data type, the type has to selected. Actually, we should have data type here. We will have a type like data type check. I think it might have been removed. I used 5 years back, maybe. Okay, sorry, not there. Sorry. Here. Operator is data type check. Yeah. Operator is data type check and data type is integer. Sorry. So if we go to compare validator, so type is integer, operator. We want to check the data type. So data type, as you are asking, if you want to check the greater than 35 like that, so you can use operator here. I forgot to tell you this. Operator, equal, not equal, greater than, against some fixed value. Okay. If you specify 35 and you select greater than, then it is only allowed to enter greater than 35 like that. So now I want to check data type and type is integer. I used ASP.NET in around 2012, 14, in between 2012 and 14. After that, I did not work on ASP.NET. So there will be a confusion with properties and all. So I'm entering YTRT. So it is not valid. So I entered 12H. It is still not valid. I'll enter 123. Now it is valid. Okay. Right. If I enter proper data and clicking on button, so it is submitting. If I enter wrong data, it is displaying message, and even though if I click button, it is not submitting. So this is about compare validator. Compare validator is used to validate two controls or some with fixed value, or we can check the data type. Even we can what are the properties we used? Like control to compare, control to validate, operator, whether we are checking equal, not equal, greater than, less than equal, and a data type check. The next type of the data we want to validate. Like this we have. Next value, if you want to compare it with fixed value, we can check, we can select, we can set a value to compare property. Okay, this is about compare validator. Next is range validator. So is that clear? Compare validator. So we can compare two controls values. We can compare particular control value with some value, either with different operators, or even we can check data type of the control. Okay, one assignment I'm going to give you guys like, so in compare validator, take DOB field here. DOB label, and it will accept calendar control. So when you select a date, that date should be greater than 35. So if you select a date and from today, if it is 35 years old, it should allow. If it is less than 35, it should not allow. Okay, that you can try. So that you will learn calendar control and you will learn some validation there. Yes. Next, range validation. Range validator is used to check whether the user entered data is within the given range or not. Range validator is used to check the user entered data is available within the given range or not. Okay, for that, like I want to let's take an example, like I want to accept age should be greater than 35 and less than 55. Okay, in this scenario, we can use range validator. So I'll take a range validator and I'll go to properties and see what are all the properties available. So error message common, text common for every control. Then next, control to validate is common. So text box 1, text box 2. So I'm going to validate against text box 2 because my age control ID is text box 2. If you want to name it, we can change the name. Okay, ID, change the ID. Next, here we have min value, max value. Okay, min value I'm setting 35. Oh, sorry, max value I'm setting to 55. And min value is 35. Okay, and all other type. What is the type of values we are going to compare? So data type is integer.
Sir,
Right? Yeah.
if we set one of the min value or max value and we leave another value as it is, then what will happen, sir?
Sorry. If you
If
take,
we set one of the value and we didn't set another value.
let's check that scenario as well.
Okay.
We'll do that. First, check this scenario, then we'll jump to that. Oh, I forgot to add a message. Age should be greater than 35 and less than 55. I'm entering 22. So age should be this. I'm entering 88. Age should be less than 55. So I'm entering 56. Still message is there. Even I'm entering 55. So it gone. So entering 54, it is valid. Entering 33, it is not valid. So entering 35, it is valid. Okay. So this is about range validator. So let's check the scenario you mentioned. Like you are going to give only minimum value, not maximum value, right?
Sir.
Let's. So if you want to check only min value, you can set only min value. If you want to check only max value, you can set only max value. If you set both, it will validate both.
Okay.
Let's see. The value of maximum value property cannot be converted to integer. Oh, it is not allowing. Let me see it. I think both are required, I guess. I thought like one will allow, but not. Okay, minimum is 35. Both are allowed, both are required. Both are required. If you don't give it, it is throwing error. Yeah, the value of maximum value property of range validator cannot be converted to type integer because we selected type integer and its value is empty. Okay, so either we have to give 0 at least. So if we give 0 as maximum value, it is invalid, right? Because we mentioned minimum 35. If minimum is 0 and maximum is 35, in that case it is valid. So both should be specified because it's a range validator. Okay. Any other scenarios like this? So what are all the properties? Control to validate, error message, text, minimum value, maximum value, type. Minimum value, maximum value, type. These are the properties available with range validator. Okay. Next is, so we covered so far required field, regular expression, then compare validator, then next range validator. The last two are custom validator and validation summary. Custom validator, validation summary. Okay, first we'll see about custom validator. So we have covered so far 4 validation controls, and if these 4 validation controls does not meet any of our criteria, any of our validation criteria, then we can go for custom validator. So here, if you take a custom validator, we ourselves can write code to check the data for the data format, whether user entered data or not. So custom validator will be used when existing validation control do not meet the user requirements. When the existing validation control does not meet our criteria to write or to validate, then we can go for custom validator. Custom validation can be performed 2 ways. One is at client side we can perform, the another one is at server side. So we can validate client side itself, or if you want to perform some logical business logic related things, we can perform it server side. So we'll see an example for both the cases. So I have a template ready for that. Let me open custom. Yeah. So first, to understand it, I'm just taking a password field and I'm just going to check whether we have minimum 6 characters or not. So this we can achieve with other control also, but to understand what is custom validator, I'm just giving this as an example. Okay. Now, so I have a text box field. I want to validate whether user entered more than 6 characters or not. Okay. So to do that, I want to place the control here. So I'll take a custom validator. So I'll jump to properties. See here, we have, as usual, we have error message, text. So I'm setting text to password should be minimum 6 characters. So this is the error message I'm going to display when the control fails validation. Okay. So we have control to validate as usual. It is common for every control. Now we have an extra function called client validation function. if I want to validate this control data on the client side, I can use client validation function. Okay, client validation function. Control to validate is common. Next extra property we have like validate empty text. Whether the validator validates the control when the text of the control is empty. Okay, to check whether it is empty or not. Even though if it is empty, if we want to validate it, so we can set it true, otherwise false. So there is no use, right? If you validate empty text, we can display error message. So that's why we can select false. And as usual, validation group, and then next ID. So these are the common properties, but the extra property here is client validation function. So to validate, to write some custom logic at client side, we use client validation function. So as it is a custom validator, we can write client validation function and then validate the data. So I'm just giving my validation function as validate password. So I'll write code for this and I'll show you guys. Now, this is for client side validation. If we want to write server side validation, so we use this event, server validate event. Server validate event. So on double clicking it, it will generate an event. So this is to write server side validation. Okay. First we will check with client side validation, then we'll jump onto server side validation. Now client side means we have to write the code in HTML, okay, or on the header part. So for that, we can jump here, we can write the script. Okay. So what is my validation function name? Validate password. So I'm just writing a function, validate password. So here, this will receive two properties. Okay, this will receive two properties. I'm just naming as A, comma B. Two arguments A, comma B. Okay, so A is from the source. So which control calling this function? Which control is calling this function? B will have two important properties. So like any function we call from client validation function, any function that we call from client validation function will have two arguments. First argument will store the type of the control from which the function has been called. So we are calling from custom validator. So that is the reference. It will have A will have custom validator reference. Next B, second argument will contain two important properties. One is value property and another one is value property, like B dot value and B dot valid. Two important properties. One is value property and one is valid property. So value property will give us the value that is entered. Value that is entered again is the control with which we are going to validate the data. As I'm taking custom validator here, did I have two? Okay, I'll remove this. Now I have a custom validator. I'm setting it to this txt password. Okay. So I have a text box here. So I'm naming ID as txt password. Okay. Now I want to apply this custom validator to txt password. So control to validate will become txt password. Now, so whenever we call this client validation function, whenever it is called, the first argument will hold the source from which it got generated, the event got generated. The second will store the two important properties. One is value, one is valid property. So value is from this control. So because this custom validation function is validating against this control, so whatever the value we enter here, that will come into B dot value. So that will come into B dot value. Next is valid. So this is a Boolean property which stores whether true or false and return this to custom validator. So this is a Boolean property, stores true or value, and it will return this to custom validator after completion of this execution. After completion of this function execution, it will return whether it is valid or not. Then this function will return it to custom validator. Then custom validator will return it to page. Just a second. Okay. So this is something different here with this validation control. First, custom validator will have a custom validation function to write client-side script validation. So it will have two important argument. It will accept two arguments. One is the source, and another one will have two important properties like value is valid. Value will have value of the control against with which we are going to validate, and the next property is valid. Whether it is valid or not, whether the control validation is success or not, we can check with is valid. So this function will return whether the control is valid or not to custom validator. Then custom validator will return whether validation is success or not to the page or form. Okay. Now we will write the custom logic. Like as I said, we want to check whether the password is more than 6 characters or not. So that we are going to check. B dot value. We are going to check the length. Okay, length greater than 6 or not. If it is greater than 6, then we will set B dot is valid property to true. Else is valid. Else we will set it to B dot is valid to false. Right? This is the custom validation function. So let me jump to this custom validator properties. So I set text property, then control to validate is txt password. Client validation function is validate password. Okay, this is my function. This function will receive two arguments. One is the source, one is the event argument. The second property will have two important properties like value and is valid. Value will store the control value that we entered against which we are validating. We are using the custom validator. Is valid property is used to set or get the whether control validation is success or not. Let's check whether this will work or not. So control validator, custom validator will be used to perform our own custom logic. Okay, now I'm entering some password here. So I entered only 4 letters. So it is displaying password should be minimum 6 characters. So I'm entering 6. Still it is displaying because I set greater than there. If I set equal, it will allow 6. Otherwise, as I said greater than here, so it should be greater than 6. So I have to enter one more letter. Now if you see, it is allowing. So if I remove, so it is displaying this. So to make it clear, just let me remove this. I'm showing some sample text here. So let me remove it and let me add red color to it. So as I mentioned minimum here, let me change the logic to greater than or equal. Okay, now I'm running it again. So here I'm entering 4 letters, then validation is displayed. So I entered more than 6, so it is allowed. Now I enter only 6 is allowed because I put greater than or equal. So if it is less than 6, then message is displaying. This is client-side validation function. Use of custom validator with client-side validation function. These two are important here and important interview question also. Okay, value and is valid. Right? This is client-side validation. Now I want to perform server-side validation. So to do that, just select the custom validator, go to events, and this is the server validate function. So we have it already. So in custom validation function, so if you see the code here also, so this is the event name on server validate. This is the method it is going to execute. Now to understand, to know how we write the code, I'm just writing the same way here also. Like just a second. See here, there are two properties like source from which the control the call is coming or event is raised, then some arguments, right? So if args dot is valid or value, so args dot value dot length greater than or equal to 6. If length greater than or equal to 6, then args dot is valid equal to true. Okay. Else args dot is valid equal to false. Same way we can write it. Just rerunning it. Sorry, first I'll remove client-side validation. We have client-side validation here, right? So I'll remove that. So I'm just removing client-side validation function so that it will validate it server side. Now see it. Previously, when we are entering it and clicking on outside, it used to display the error message. Now, as I am validating it at server side, it will not know whether it is valid or not, right? So I have to, for that, I have to click the button. So now when I am clicking the button, so it is checking password should be minimum 6 characters. Now when I enter 6 characters, 6 or more than 6, it is allowed, right? See. Right? To confirm that whether it is hitting properly or not, let me just entered 5 characters and clicking button. See here what happened. Custom validator is hitting, and you can see here arguments is valid true and value is 6 characters. So this way you can write the logic. Right. So this is about custom validation. Custom validation has 2 important properties. The second argument will have 2 important properties like is valid and value. Okay. As we covered is value, we also have like page dot is valid. So if all controls are valid, then page becomes valid. Okay, this is for that we use this property page dot is valid. Okay, if all validation controls are valid, then page becomes valid. So for that, we write like this: page dot is valid. Page dot is valid. It's a Boolean property. Okay. So this is about custom validation. Next thing is like the final one is validation summary. Just a second.
Hi, sir. Mute. Unmute.
Yeah, I'm on mute. Just a second. Yeah, any doubts? No, right? So to understand how custom validator, why we use custom validator. So I'm just giving an example. I gave just an example. Now I'll give an assignment for that. Like, so you have a question here, like what was the Aristotle first name? So you have a text box and you have to answer this question within 10 seconds. Now you want to write this validation. Yeah. So I have a question here and we have a text box. You have to answer that question within 10 seconds. Okay. So when the page loads, the timer will start and you have to answer within the 10 seconds. So when you click on submit button, so you have to compare the initial time or the start time with the current time. If it is less than 10 seconds, you can display like your answer is correct and you answered within the stipulated time. If you take more than 10 seconds, you can display like you answered too slowly. So this is an assignment for you guys. Just use custom validator and server side method, then write that code. Okay. So this is an assignment for you. The next final one is like validation summary. This is not a like validation summary is not a validation control, but we use validation summary to display all the error messages of each control at one place. Okay. For that, I have some example ready. Where is that? Summary. Yes. So I have a form like this. Okay. One drop down control and then some text radio buttons and some text box and then some email ID and submit button. Now I have a validation summary control here. So if you drag and drop, it will come like this. So this is a validation summary control. Okay. So it will display messages like this: error message 1, error message 2. Like each validation control will have error message property, right? That text. So whenever we use text, that will be displayed against each control. But when we use validation summary control, it will take error message property. Okay, error message property value. If you see here, error message. You see here, error message. So this error message property will be displayed in a list. So we have a few other properties like here. So we can display some header text like this, errors, and then show message box. Whether to display a message box on error in up-level browsers. In some browsers, alerts will be displayed, right? So few browsers will support alerts. So where if you want to display error messages in an alert box, we can use this. Okay. Then next, show summary. So if you want to show whether to display the summary text on the page, if you want to display that on the page, we can use this show summary property. So we will set both of them and we'll see. Show validation errors, whether the validation summary from validator should be shown, whether we want to show the validations or not, we can use this property. Okay. Next group basically. That's all, I guess. Yeah. So these are the properties. The main important here are show message box if you want to show validations in the alert box. Show summary if you want to display the validation messages on the page. So I set both and I'm just running it. So first I'm not selecting any candidate. I'm not selecting house, but class value I'm just entering 1 and email I'm giving wrong. Okay. Okay. Now I'm clicking on submit. Right? See, it is displaying in an alert box because I set show message box equal to true. So please choose a candidate. Please enter your house name. Okay. Enter your class 6 to 12 only. 6 to 12. Enter your email. Then again, I set this property, right? Like I set show summary on page to true. So that's why it is displaying here. So I said show message box, I said show summary, both. So it displayed both, right? This is about validation summary, right? So in this example, we have like drop down. We were validating against a drop down here. So when I'm clicking it, so as I selected value, that error gone now. So now enter your house name and enter class between 6 to 12 and enter your email. So I already entered email, so I'm just giving proper value. Now I'll select one value here. Now I'm clicking on submit. So now there is only one error message like enter your class 6 to 12 only. Okay. So I'll enter 5. Still there is an error. Okay. I'll enter 10 now. It got submitted. So it is showing thank you. Okay. Right. This is about validation summary. So when validation controls values or when validation fails against a particular control, okay, if you want to display error messages in alert box or as a summary on the page, we can use validation summary. And also we have one property like display mode. So we can display bullet list or we can display list like error 1, 2, 3 like that, or bullet list with a dot symbol, or we can display in a single paragraph like this. So we'll see one by one. Now it will display in a single paragraph. So I'm not selecting anything and clicking on submit button. Please choose a candidate, then enter your house name. So it displayed 2 of the messages in a paragraph. See here, I did not type anything here and I did not type anything here. And the validation is not performed because it is empty. If it is empty, it won't perform the validation. The range validation or regular expression validator will not perform whenever it is empty. If you want to avoid that, you can have a required field validator here. Okay. Now I'll type 5. I'll give some wrong mail ID. Now I'm clicking on submit. See here, please choose a candidate, enter your class, enter your email. Right? That is about single paragraph. Now I want to list. Okay. I'm just running it. Clicking on submit. Please choose a candidate. Please enter your house name. See, it is in the form of list. First error message, then next error message. We want a bullet list, we can select bullet list. Okay. This is about validation summary. Show message, show summary, validation group. Yeah, that's all. So this is about validation controls. Any doubts so far? Any doubts so far?
Hi, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, we use custom control, custom validator. Required field is user none. Required field.
So
For
we use
custom
custom.
validation.
You can write anything in custom validation. You can write regular expression. You can compare range validation. You can compare you can do anything with custom validator. So required field validator is used to validate whether the data is entered in the required text box or not. But custom validation, you can write any custom logic. As I said, like the password should be, suppose you have a scenario like the password should be 8 characters. At least one character should be capital letter, one character should be small letter, and at least you should have greater than at the rate symbol or some percentile symbol. In that scenario, which control you use? You cannot achieve with required field, you cannot achieve with range field, you cannot achieve with compare field. Either you can write it with regular expression or custom validation. So custom validation is a control where you write your own code to validate the data.
Okay, sir.
సింపుల్. రిక్వైర్డ్ ఫీల్డ్ అంటే ఒక టెక్స్ట్ బాక్స్ లో వాల్యూ ఎంటర్ అయిందా లేదా, ఎంటర్ అయితేనే సబ్మిట్ చేయడానికి అలో చేస్తుంది. అది రిక్వైర్డ్ ఫీల్డ్. ఆ ఫీల్డ్ రిక్వైర్డ్, యూ హ్యావ్ టు ఎంటర్ ఆర్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు సెలెక్ట్ వన్ వాల్యూ ఫ్రమ్ డ్రాప్ డౌన్. అంతవరకు నేను సబ్మిట్ చేయడానికి అలో చేయదు. అది రిక్వైర్డ్ ఫీల్డ్ వ్యాలిడేటర్. కస్టమ్ వ్యాలిడేషన్ అంటే నువ్వు రాసుకుంటావు కోడ్ ఇట్లా, మినిమం 6 లెటర్స్ ఉన్నాయా లేవా, అట్లీస్ట్ ఎట్ ది రేట్ సింబల్ ఉందా లేదా, ఒక ఒక అప్పర్ కేస్ లెటర్ ఉందా, ఒక లోవర్ కేస్ లెటర్ ఉందా, ఒక డిజిట్ ఉందా, ఎట్ ది రేట్ సింబల్ ఉందా లేదా, అట్లా లాజిక్, కస్టమ్ లాజిక్ రాయడానికి దాన్ని వాడతాం కస్టమ్ వ్యాలిడేటర్.
ఇక్కడ ప్రాపర్టీస్ లో ఉంటది కదా సార్, ఫీల్డ్ ఈజ్ నాట్ ఎంప్టీ.
అర్థం కాలేదు.
ఫీల్డ్ ఈజ్ నాట్ ఎంప్టీ అని ఒక ప్రాపర్టీ ఉంటుంది.
పేజ్ ఈజ్ నాట్ ఎంప్టీ.
ఫీల్డ్
ఇక్కడ చెప్పు. ఇప్పుడు
కస్టమ్ ప్రాపర్టీస్.
ఓకే, ప్రాపర్టీస్. ఇక్కడ ఏముంది చెప్పు. ఓకే, నువ్వు అడిగేది ఈ ప్రాపర్టీ అంటున్నావా, వ్యాలిడేట్ ఎంప్టీ టెక్స్ట్ అంటున్నావా? ఓకే ఓకే ఓకే, లెట్స్ చెక్ దట్. దీని పర్టికులర్ సినారియో అంటే నేను ఎప్పుడు చెక్ చేయలేదు, బట్ విల్ సీ దట్. సో నువ్వు అనేది ఏంటంటే వ్యాలిడేట్ ఎంప్టీ టెక్స్ట్ అని అన్నాము. సో అప్పుడు రిక్వైర్డ్ ఫీల్డ్ అవసరమా, ఇంకెందుకు, ఇక్కడే సెట్ చేయొచ్చు కదా అంటున్నావు, అంతే కదా?
అవును సార్.
ఓకే ఓకే. సో ఇది ఈ పేజ్ ఈజ్ వ్యాలిడేట్ అనేది ఆఫ్టర్ వ్యాలిడేషన్స్ ఓన్లీ చెక్ చేయొచ్చు. సో డైరెక్ట్ గా చెక్ చేయలేమని అంటుంది. రిమూవ్ చేసి రన్ చేస్తాం. సో ఇక్కడ ఎంటీ ఉంది, ఎంటీ ఉన్నప్పుడు బటన్ క్లిక్ చేస్తున్నాం. సో ఫంక్షన్ ఇట్ ఓకే సర్వర్ సైడ్ ఫంక్షన్ ఉంది. సో ఇక్కడ చూడు ఆర్గ్యుమెంట్స్ లో ఈజ్ వ్యాలిడ్ బై డిఫాల్ట్ ట్రూ ఉంది, వాల్యూ ఎంటీ ఉంది. సో ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ వాల్యూ ఎంటీ ఉన్నప్పుడు మనం ఏం చేసుకోవచ్చు ఇక్కడ, సో మనం ఒక లాజిక్ రాసుకోవచ్చు లైక్ ఇఫ్ వాల్యూ ఈక్వల్ టు ఎంటీ ప్లీజ్ ఎంటర్ అని రాసుకోవచ్చు. అట్లా ఆ పర్పస్ కోసం కస్టమ్ వ్యాలిడేటర్ వాడతాం. అర్థమైందా?
అర్థమైంది.
సో మనం అప్పుడు రిక్వైర్డ్ ఫీల్డ్ వాడాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. ఇట్లా రాస్తాం. ఈ లాజిక్ రాకపోతే అప్పుడు రిక్వైర్డ్ ఫీల్డ్ అవసరం ఉంటుంది. ఇఫ్ వాల్యూ ఈక్వల్ టు ఎంటీ దెన్ మార్క్స్ డాట్ ఈజ్ వాల్యూడ్ ఈక్వల్ టు ఫాల్స్. అప్పుడు ఈ ఫంక్షన్ లో ఉన్న ఎర్రర్ మెసేజ్ డిస్ప్లే అవుతుంది బికాస్ ఐఎమ్ రిటర్నింగ్ ఫాల్స్ హియర్. I'm clicking button. So password should be minimum 6 characters or please enter password అని అంటే పెట్టుకోవచ్చు. మీనింగ్ఫుల్ గా ఉండేలాగా. Submitted. Okay. So to write your own logic ఆ ప్రాపర్టీ వాడతాం. Validate empty text. So empty text ఉన్నప్పుడు validation perform అవుతుంది. సో ఇంకొక ఎగ్జాంపుల్ దాన్నే జస్ట్ ఇంకొక చూద్దాం. కస్టమ్ వ్యాలిడేషన్. సో ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ ఉంది ప్రాపర్టీస్కి వెళ్తా, వ్యాలిడేట్ ఎంటీ టెక్స్ట్ ఫాల్స్ చేస్తా, ఏమవుతుందో చూద్దాం. లైక్ ఇక్కడ సర్వర్ వ్యాలిడేషన్ కాబట్టి ఒక బ్రేక్ పాయింట్ పెడితే హిట్ అవుతుందో లేదో చూద్దాం. నా ఎంటీ టెక్స్ట్ ఉంది, బటన్ క్లిక్ చేస్తున్నా. చూడండి సర్వర్ వ్యాలిడేట్ ఫంక్షన్ హిట్ అవ్వట్లేదు. ఎందుకు? ఐ సెట్ కస్టమ్ వ్యాలిడేట్ ఎంటీ టెక్స్ట్ అంటే ఫాల్స్ పెట్టాను. ఎంటీ టెక్స్ట్ ఉన్నప్పుడు వ్యాలిడేట్ చేయొద్దు అంటున్నా. సో టెక్స్ట్ ఎంటర్ చేసినప్పుడు బటన్ క్లిక్ చేస్తే వ్యాలిడేట్ అవుతుంది, రైట్? సో అది యూజ్ దాన్ యూజ్. So when I'm clicking this with empty text, it is not validated. It is not hitting this function. Right? Any other doubt? Yeah, good doubt. Yeah, any other? Any other doubts?
No, sir.
Others? Practice చేయండి లేదంటే మళ్ళీ మర్చిపోతారు. Okay, so I'll stop sharing. I'll stop recording first.